There's something you're definitely going to need, unless you're capable of writing an entire novel that captures the journey of love from the top of the mountain to the tree without causing the reader to pull their hair. Braid it, tie it to a ceiling fan, and hang themselves. Characters are like the spices in a dish, as they say. Without characters, there's no novel, and there's no novel without our characters. In our daily lives, we don't face any challenges if we live in a house all alone and never leave it. In that case, the biggest problems might be running out of food or the blender exploding, for example. Today, I'll present to you examples of 10 characters, along with their traits, that you can use in your upcoming creative works. But before we begin with the first character, I should note that the characters mentioned in this video can be mixed and matched, and you can exclude some traits because they come from my imagination, not from a book. Now, let's start with the first character, the wise old man. This character is usually elderly and has most of the solutions to the hero's problems. In some cases, they also have background knowledge of why the villain turned evil or have a broad understanding of the crimes that took place in the past, related to the village or city where the story is set. The wise old man is calm and composed, yet sometimes has a sense of humor. The second character we have today is the Lovelorn Wanderer. This is usually a side character, madly in love with the heroine and about 20 other girls at the same time, and doesn't really contribute much to the plot. The Lovelorn Wanderer helps the reader see the hero more clearly, especially if the hero is rational. And if you plan to use this character, make sure the hero has a strong, charismatic personality, because an empty character like Mr. Wanderer would just be filler unless he highlights the strength of the hero's personality. In short, this character is like the white space that makes the surrounding colors stand out. Character 3 is the nice guy, often stuck in the friend zone by the girl he loves from the beginning to the end of the story. He plays a role in the love triangle, being in love with the same girl the hero is in love with. We all know this character's traits: kind-hearted, usually wealthy, strong, smart, and helpful. Sometimes, he's the childhood friend of the girl the hero loves. Character number 4 is the Troublemaker. And as the name suggests, this is the character who blows everything out of proportion. Take any problem in the story, put this character in the mix, and they'll turn it into a crisis. Sometimes, this character appears as the persistent detective convinced the hero is a criminal and will chase them throughout the story. Other times, the Troublemaker is the step-parent causing problems and putting pressure on the hero, leading to their emotional breakdown or running away from home. This character can also be the villain's sidekick, helping them conquer more land, or serve a comedic role as the hero's foolish friend, constantly getting them into trouble. The Troublemaker tends to be reckless, often attractive when unintentionally causing problems, but can also be portrayed as an old, ugly, false-smelling villain. Before we continue, I'd like to remind you to like and subscribe to support the channel so we can keep making videos. Thank you in advance. Character 5 is the Martyr. For example, in a battle scene, this character acts as the human shield to protect the hero. In a betrayal scene, they might be the spouse, who decides to stay with the cheater for the sake of the children. In every crisis in your story, there's a character like this who tugs at the reader's heartstrings with their sacrifice, evoking a sense of pain while simultaneously protecting the character who will continue on. Sometimes, the martyr is the hero themselves, especially if they're the strongest or most resilient. The point of the martyr is to evoke sympathy from the reader, creating an emotional bond with your story. This character doesn't have fixed traits because they can sacrifice themselves at any moment, even if they start out as a villain. Character number 6 is the Handsome Narcissist. This character is similar to the kind guy, and sometimes they blend into one. They hover around the heroine, a womanizer who can charm any girl, but the heroine rejects him. You can make the hero or a supporting character possess some of these traits. This character is generous with gifts, knows how to win women's hearts, and has a very attractive outward appearance. They're smooth talking, hard to anger in normal situations, but when they do get angry, they transform into a ferocious beast. Character 7 is the Tsundere. This term comes from Japanese, describing a character who acts the opposite of how they feel. They love the heroine, but treat her coldly, feeling excitement on the inside, but showing indifference on the outside. A well-known example from anime is Kuro from Servamp. Who here is writing to become an animator? Let me know in the comments. The Tsundere's traits include a cold exterior, but they're quick to anger and incredibly compassionate on the inside. Try to make this character as expressionless as possible on the outside, so it stands out when they feel embarrassed or flustered. Character 8 is the Clown. This character's role is to turn any situation into a joke, downplaying everything they encounter, including other people's problems, and handling their own issues in the same way by laughing. Often, the clown will surprise you by forcing your respect, transforming events near the story's climax or major turning point by revealing a hidden strength, great loyalty, or a very painful past. The clown is a very strong character, and they will push you as a writer if you don't listen to them. This character has a real impact in your story, and they're hard to control, often altering your plans entirely. This happens because the clown taps into a deep part of every person, making it hard not to put yourself in their shoes. That's why it becomes tricky to manage them. Character number 9 is the role model. This character is wise and influential, alive or dead, teaching the hero even after they're gone. For example, Tadayoshi Maeda from the anime Filmojin plays this role. He's the older brother who continues to impart lessons to his younger sibling, the protagonist, even after his death. One of the role model's key traits is their perfection, but be careful not to make them too perfect, or they'll become disliked. In psychology, we connect more with characters who share our flaws. The closer a character gets to perfection, the more readers feel disconnected from them, which can lead to dislike. Finally, character number 10, the Black Cloud. From the moment this character enters your story, they bring nothing but bad luck and curses. On their birthday, their mother died while giving birth to them. When they walked past the heroine, they tripped and fell, and she didn't even notice them. On the day they applied for a job, the bus crashed 3 minutes before they arrived, and on the date they decided to emigrate. Terrorists hijacked the plane they boarded and decided to blow it up. Of course, the plane made an emergency landing back in the same country, and they didn't make it out. When they finally realized that Earth was a cursed place and decided to move to Mars, their spaceship detached from the main vessel, and now they're drifting through space with just enough food to last a while, only to realize they forgot the food. If you think they're going to die now, you're wrong. Hostile aliens capture them and start experimenting on them. And the only alien that falls in love with them dies of cancer or commits suicide. I think I don't need to give you any specific traits for this poor soul, since you, as the writer, can do whatever you want with them. With that, we've come to the safe landing of our writing journey. My creative pins, don't forget to share in the comments which character you like the most and are excited to use in your stories. Also, write the name of the protagonist you're working on right now to encourage other writers to finish their novels. As always, I wish you all successful writing projects and a bright future. I'll see you in the next video.